Imagine this. You walk into a crowded room. The noise is loud, the air thick with chatter. Yet as you step forward, the room grows quieter. Eyes turn. People notice you, not because of your clothes, not because of your wealth, not even because of your achievements. They notice because you carry something different, a reputation that cannot be bought, shaken, or destroyed, an untouchable reputation. But what does it mean to build such a reputation? And how can Stoic wisdom, forged in the fires of ancient struggle, help us build one that endures, no matter what storms life may bring? Today, I will teach you how. My student, let us first separate two ideas that most of the world confuses: reputation and character. Reputation is what others think of you. Character is who you truly are. Reputation is like a shadow. It stretches and bends depending on the angle of the light. Sometimes it makes you appear taller, sometimes smaller, sometimes distorted. But your character, that is the substance casting the shadow. The Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, they all warned against becoming enslaved to reputation, because it is never fully in your control. Yet they also knew this: when you cultivate unshakable character, your reputation naturally follows. So, the untouchable reputation I speak of is not one crafted from empty words, nor from pleasing the crowd, nor from seeking approval. It is built on a life lived with virtue, courage, and self-command. No slanderer, no enemy, no twist of fate can take it away, because it is anchored not in opinion, but in truth. There are 4 Stoic pillars upon which an enduring reputation is built. Wisdom, the ability to see the world clearly, act with sound judgment, and avoid foolishness. Courage, not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it, standing firm when others tremble. Justice, treating others fairly, honoring your word, and living with integrity. Temperance, discipline, self-restraint, the strength to govern your desires rather than be enslaved by them. When these 4 virtues govern your actions, you build a reputation that is unshakable because it flows from within. Even if the crowd mocks you, even if slander spreads, those who know truth will recognize the consistency of your life. And in the long arc of time, character always outlives false rumor. Consider wisdom, the first pillar. The Stoics remind us that reputation is fragile if it rests on ignorance. If you chase fads, if you cling to popular opinion, your name will rise and fall like a leaf blown by the wind. But if you anchor your mind in truth, if you train yourself to see what is essential and what is trivial, you build a reputation for clarity. People trust the wise because the wise are not easily swayed. Wisdom means listening more than you speak, asking before you assume, seeking knowledge not to appear clever but to act rightly. Epictetus once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." For wisdom grows when you stop defending appearances and begin to learn. And here is the paradox. When you stop chasing the reputation of being wise, true wisdom makes your reputation inevitable. Second, courage. History honors not the timid but the steadfast. A man or woman who lives in fear may preserve their life for a while, but their reputation withers. Yet one act of courage born of conviction can echo for centuries. Courage is not recklessness. The Stoics would not have you charge blindly into danger. True courage is measured. It is the decision to act rightly even when it costs you. When slander comes, courage steadies your voice. When injustice rises, courage compels you to stand. When fear whispers, courage answers, "I am greater than this trial." A reputation forged in courage becomes untouchable because even enemies respect it. They may oppose you, but they cannot deny your strength. Third, justice. Justice is the virtue that anchors trust. No one can build an untouchable reputation without it. You may be brilliant, you may be bold, but if you are unjust, if you lie, cheat, manipulate, or betray, your reputation will one day collapse under the weight of your deceit. The Stoics taught that justice means giving each person what is due, honoring agreements, and treating others not as tools but as fellow beings worthy of respect. Seneca wrote, "What is good for the hive is good for the bee." When you live not just for yourself but for the greater good, your reputation extends beyond your name. It becomes a light for others, a beacon of integrity. Justice creates an untouchable reputation because people know, even if the world falls apart, you will not betray what is right. Finally, temperance. What ruins many reputations is not external attack, but internal weakness. A brilliant leader undone by greed, a gifted speaker destroyed by lust, a powerful ruler consumed by excess. Temperance is the mastery of the self. It is restraint in appetite, moderation in pleasure, balance in ambition. Without temperance, reputation rots from within, but with it, your life becomes steady, consistent, and reliable. Think of it this way. When others look at you, do they see someone tossed about by passions or someone who governs themselves with calm? The answer will determine whether your reputation stands or falls. My student, let us speak of slander. Even the greatest Stoics were attacked. Socrates was accused falsely. Marcus Aurelius endured betrayal. Epictetus was mocked for his limp, a wound from his days as a slave. You cannot control what others say. You cannot silence every rumor. But you can live in such a way that the slander collapses on itself. When falsehood meets the wall of consistent virtue, it has no power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you live according to nature, you will never be poor. If you live according to opinion, you will never be rich." Do not chase opinion. Instead, let your life be your argument, and over time, truth will win. Now, let us make this teaching practical. To build an untouchable reputation using Stoic principles, practice these steps daily. Examine yourself each evening. Ask, did I live today with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance? Where did I falter? Where did I succeed? Guard your speech. Speak less, but let your words carry weight. A single word can stain or strengthen a reputation. Endure without complaint. When hardship comes, do not whine or curse. Meet it with calm, and others will admire your strength. Keep your promises. Do what you say. Your reputation is no stronger than your word. Serve the greater good. Ask not only what benefits you, but what benefits the whole. People remember those who lifted others, not those who only sought their own gain. Detach from praise and blame. If you rise or fall with the opinion of others, you remain a slave. Instead, fix your eyes on virtue alone. Practice these, and reputation will follow without your chasing it. Understand this. An untouchable reputation is not one that pleases everyone. It is not built on popularity. It is built on unshakable consistency of character. The crowd may not always cheer you. Some may even hate you. But they will know what you stand for. They will know you cannot be bought, bribed, or bent. And in the end, this is the only reputation that matters. So, my student, if you wish to build an untouchable reputation, do not chase applause. Do not sculpt your life to fit the crowd's shifting desires. Instead, anchor yourself in wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Live with virtue, and let time bear witness. For the world may twist your shadow, but it cannot erase the substance of your soul. And when you live with unshakable character, your reputation, like your virtue, becomes untouchable. Final pause. Voice slows, softens. Remember, it is not the opinion of others that makes your name endure. It is the life you live moment by moment, choice by choice. Build your reputation not by seeking it, but by being it. Most people live as if life were a sprint. They burn themselves out chasing applause, chasing wealth, chasing quick rewards. But then they wonder why they feel empty, why their victories vanish as quickly as they came. The wise, however, know better. The wise live as if life were a marathon. They play the long game. They understand that true victory is not found in speed, but in endurance. Not in temporary gain, but in timeless growth. Today I will teach you how to play the long game, and always win through the ancient wisdom of Stoicism. My student, let us first define what the long game truly is. The long game is not about quick applause, but lasting impact. It is not about temporary advantage, but permanent growth. It is the art of patience, endurance, and vision. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do." That is the long game. It is to set your eyes on what truly matters: virtue, excellence of character, wisdom, and then endure the slow, steady work that makes it real. The long game is not for the faint-hearted. It demands sacrifice. It demands self-control. But in the end, it delivers something greater than fleeting pleasure. It delivers mastery, peace, and legacy. Look around you, and you will see how the short game seduces people. They chase money but lose their integrity. They crave applause but sacrifice their peace. They hunger for quick success but neglect the foundations that endure. The short game always feels good at the start, but bitter at the end. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." The short game wastes life. It consumes your strength in shallow pursuits. It leaves you with regret. But the long game? It rewards you with strength, resilience, and victory that time cannot erase. To play the long game, you must first master your relationship with time. Time is not your enemy. It is your ally. Time reveals character. Time tests endurance. Time refines virtue. The Stoics viewed each day as a precious opportunity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not act as if you had 10,000 years to live. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." The long game is not about waiting forever. It is about using each day wisely, planting seeds that may not bloom today, but will bear fruit tomorrow. Every choice is an investment. Every action is a seed in the soil of time. Plant foolishness, reap regret. Plant wisdom, reap greatness. The long game is built upon the same 4 pillars that sustain all of Stoicism. Wisdom, to see beyond the immediate, to recognize what truly matters. Courage, to endure hardship now for the sake of what lies ahead. Justice, to act rightly even when it costs you, knowing virtue is its own reward. Temperance, to master desires, refusing to trade the eternal for the temporary. If you wish to always win in the long game, anchor your life in these virtues. They will steady you when the world tempts you with shortcuts. They will guide you when storms rise. They will remind you that the only true victory is mastery of the self. Wisdom in the long game is the ability to see past the moment. The foolish ask, "What do I gain today?" The wise ask, "What will this choice make of me 10 years from now?" Every decision shapes your future self. Wisdom demands that you look beyond the surface, beyond the pleasure of the moment, and ask whether it builds or destroys you. Epictetus warned, "No great thing is created suddenly." The wise embrace this truth. They build slowly, they plant, they water, they endure, and when the harvest comes, it is abundant. Courage in the long game is not about reckless boldness. It is the courage to wait, to persist, to suffer for a worthy cause. It is easy to quit when results are slow. It is easy to bend when pressure mounts. But courage refuses to break. Courage says, I will endure the present pain for the sake of future strength. Think of the farmer. He plants his seeds and waits. He cannot control the rain or the sun, but he has courage to labor patiently, knowing the harvest will come. Play the long game, my student, with such courage. Endure the drought, endure the storms, endure the waiting. Victory belongs to those who persist. Justice in the long game means living for more than your own desires. It is choosing to act rightly even when shortcuts promise faster rewards. Why is this essential? Because the long game is not just about winning for yourself. It is about creating something that benefits others. Seneca taught, "What is good for the hive is good for the bee." When you act justly, you build a reputation, a legacy, and a life that others can trust. The short game may make you rich, but only justice in the long game makes you respected. And respect, once earned, is a crown that time itself cannot remove. Temperance is the virtue most often neglected, and the one most vital to the long game. Desire whispers, "Take the shortcut." Greed shouts, "More now." Pleasure tempts, "Why wait?" But the wise master their desires. They choose restraint. They choose balance. They choose the path of discipline. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Temperance is the shield of the long game. Without it, you will sell your future for the comfort of the moment. With it, you will endure and always win. Now, my student, let us speak of setbacks. In the long game, setbacks are not failure. They are training. They are the weights that build strength, the storms that deepen roots. Epictetus said, "Difficulties show a person what they are." The short-sighted collapse when difficulty comes, but the long-sighted smile, knowing that obstacles are opportunities. When you play the long game, every trial refines you, every defeat prepares you. Every obstacle becomes fuel for victory. To anchor this teaching, here are daily practices to help you play the long game and always win. Set your compass. Each morning, remind yourself of your ultimate goal, to live with virtue, not vanity. Practice patience. When tempted to rush, pause. Ask, will this matter in 10 years? Invest in character. Skill may win applause, but character wins eternity. Embrace hardship. See pain not as punishment, but as preparation. Detach from results. Focus on the process. Victory comes to those who act rightly, not those who obsess over outcomes. Review nightly. Before sleep, ask yourself, did I live today as part of the long game, or did I waste it on the short? These practices, repeated daily, build endurance, and endurance always wins. The true secret of playing the long game is this: the win is already yours. How? Because the long game is not about what you achieve outwardly, but who you become inwardly. Every act of patience, every moment of courage, every choice of justice, every practice of temperance, that is the victory. You win not at the finish line, but along the way. The world measures victory in trophies, titles, and wealth. The Stoic measures victory in virtue, peace, and strength of soul. And when you play this game, you cannot lose. So, my student, do not waste your life chasing the applause of today. Do not sell your future for the cheap pleasures of the present. Play the long game. Plant deeply. Endure patiently. Act justly. Live with self-mastery. In the end, others may rise and fall quickly, but you, anchored in virtue, will stand unshaken. And when time itself has tested you, your victory will not be questioned. For those who play the long game, guided by Stoic wisdom, always win. Remember, the long game is not about how fast you arrive. It is about how faithfully you walk the path. And if you walk it with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, you have already won.